Hey guys, it's Wynn, your friendly neighborhood pelvic floor physical therapist, and today we're going to talk about incontinence. So this is something that a lot of women have. In fact, 1 in 4 women over the age of 45 have it, but that does not mean it's normal. So common, not normal, and you don't have to live with it. There are lots of ways to make it better. So that's what we're going to talk about today. There are different kinds of incontinence. We're going to talk about 2 major kinds of incontinence today. The first kind is stress incontinence. So that is where you leak when you laugh or cough or sneeze, kind of like have to cross your legs and hope nothing happens when you're laughing really hard with your friends. That is usually an issue with the muscles. So the muscles we're talking about are the muscles inside your pelvis. So there are lots and lots of muscles in here. They do lots and lots of different jobs for you. One of them is to keep you from peeing your pants. They can be weak or they can be tight. So I think it makes sense to all of us why a weak muscle wouldn't help stop you from peeing your pants, right? It just can't do its job. But sometimes it doesn't make sense that a tight muscle could also cause problems. But think about if you're a runner, if you have tight hamstrings, are you going to be able to run very well? No, right? It's going to affect your form and how your body moves. So same thing with these muscles. If they're too tight, it's going to affect how they function and they're not going to be able to do their job as well. So if you have this kind of incontinence, chances are you've tried to do Kegels before. And most people have no idea if they were doing them right, and honestly, they don't really help, right? And there are a couple reasons for that. So we are kind of programmed not to pay attention to our pelvic floor. It does a lot of things for us, but all of it should be automatic, so we don't pay attention to those muscles. We just kind of let them do their job, okay? So it's hard to know if you're using them when you're doing a Kegel because you've never paid attention to them before. So that's one thing that can go wrong. And the cue to squeeze like you're trying to hold your pee is probably not the best cue for doing a Kegel. The one that's been shown to be the best is to squeeze like you're trying to hold in a fart. That will get those muscles going a lot better than trying to squeeze like you're holding in your pee. The other reason that a Kegel might not work for you is that the muscles could be too tight. So if I tell you to, okay, make a fist, make a really strong fist. Okay, now squeeze your fist. Can't really feel anything, right? Because they're already squeezing. So if those muscles in the pelvis are already squeezing and then you try to squeeze them more, you're not going to be able to feel that Kegel. So there are a couple ways to know if your muscles are tight. So one of those signs is if you have pain with sex. So if sex hurts and lube doesn't help, it could be that those muscles inside your pelvis are tight and irritated. The other sign is if your poop comes out skinny like a pencil or a ribbon, that means that your pelvic floor muscles are tight. It shouldn't look like that. So the other main kind of incontinence we're going to talk about is urge incontinence. So that is where you leak on the way to the bathroom when you feel like you have to go. So it might be a dribble or a complete gush, but again, common but not normal. And that is usually less of a strength issue than a neurological issue. So you've kind of trained your bladder in a bad way, and good news is we can train it to work well again. You might be wondering, how is a physical therapist going to help with these issues? So the first thing we can do is help you figure out, are your muscles weak? Are your muscles tight? Is it more of a training issue that you've trained your bladder to go too often? That sort of thing. And then once we figure that out, then we can figure out how to best treat you. So that's going to be some combination of exercises. Typically the exercises we're going to be doing are more for coordination of the muscles than strength. The coordination is way more important to being incontinent than the strength, so that is the first place that we start. But there may be some strengthening involved as well. A lot of the exercises we do are going to be breathing exercises. We also have the option of doing hands-on therapy, so if you have some muscle restrictions, we can work on them directly. Obviously, with the pelvic floor, that gets a lot more personal, so that's completely up to each person when they come in if they want to do that, if I think that it's needed. So if you want to come in and see me, we will need a prescription from your doctor for most insurances. There are a few where you can see me without it, but most insurances require a prescription from your doctor. If you want to set up an appointment, our number is 358-8086. If you have questions, you can call that number and ask for me, or I will put my email address right down at the bottom here so that you could email me with questions if you have them too. I hope that clears up some of the information on incontinence. Please get a hold of me if you have any questions. Thanks for watching.